Hey there, welcome to M Angel Says. I'm M Angel and I am reviewing the Bachelorette Hannah season. And today we are going to talk about episode 8 and there's so much to digest. So let's begin. In the previous episode we were in Latvia and now we fly over to the Netherlands, which before I thought was the same thing as Holland, and I didn't understand why people say Holland and the Netherlands. Then a Dutchman explained it to me. Basically, Holland is like a province or region in the Netherlands, and it's like the most popular one. However, the Netherlands is the country, basically. We start with Amsterdam, and Jed gets the first one-on-one. Exciting! Because we all know this is the couple. Baby girl could not talk. I think she had probably strep throat. That's what happens when you go around traveling and kissing all these guys. You get strep throat. I speak from experience. Watching Jed and Hannah together is just so amazing. Their date feels effortless and easy and fun and lighthearted. And there is a goofiness to him that it's not on the surface, but I guess when he's really comfortable and he just lets his guard down with her, he brings it out, and she's goofy on the surface, right? So they kind of match each other and balance each other out. It's amazing. They just feel established, real, authentic. When Hannah's with him, it doesn't feel like she's putting on a show. Maybe I repeat myself because I keep saying these things every time they're together, but consistently so. Even on this date, we see the same thing, the same energy, the same behavior. At some point, I think they're at this cafe terrace and this nosy little old couple start to talk to them. Ask them where they're from, and Jed says they're English. And Hannah looks at him like, American, what is wrong with you? The way she looked at him was so purely unscripted, so real. I loved it. She was really like, what is wrong with you? Why are you saying we're English? This little couple said that they've been married for 54 years and it took them 10 days to realize that they were meant to be together. Like, what? Talk about relationship goals, right? Written in the stars, like, you just know when you meet the one, you'll know. After being in a 10-year relationship, I know now that it's like, I want it to feel like that. Written in the stars or nothing. What about you? What do you think? How do you gauge a relationship? There is so much love in their eyes when they look at each other. Ugh, I can't. It's not lust, it's love and appreciation. That's what I love. Back at the hotel, Tyler gets a one-on-one and he is containing his excitement, but you can tell he is giddy as a little kid. He's just like holding himself like, oh, this is awesome. It is adorable. I think he genuinely likes Hannah. Oh my gosh. So during the dinner, I was reading between the lines. Hannah's trying to tell Jed how she feels about him. She's going through a million paths just to say it's like I could hear the subtext in her words, and what she was trying to say is that I'm actually fully in love with you right now. I don't even want to date the other people, but for the sake of the show, I have to keep trying at relationships that I don't really feel connected to, and especially not the way I feel connected to you, but I can't just blurt that out that I'm ready to just forego everything and start a relationship with you and march towards marriage because I know that this is it. She can't just say that. But if you listen to the way she said those things, well, she did eventually finally say that she's falling in love with him. And I was just like, oh my gosh, is she allowed to say that? Bachelors and bachelorettes usually get in trouble for saying that early on, Ben said that he was falling in love with these two girls. I think it made it that much harder when he actually had to let go of one of them. And what I thought was hilarious is that Jed seemed so stoic during her speech. He was just not reactive. And I was like, does he feel anything she's saying? And then he says, my heart just fell through the earth. Like shocked. And then he was like, wait, could you pause? I need a moment. And he giggled and I was like, okay, I see what's happening. He's just not very emotive, which is weird for a musician, for an artist, but he was feeling it. Oh my God, it was adorable. Wow, the feels. Next we go to the Hague. I don't know how to say these things. Hague? You'll tell me in the comment section. Tyler and Hannah have a date. They start off on horses. Apparently Tyler is afraid of horses. This show, they probably have a questionnaire before they pick the candidates and ask them what are your worst fears? And then they're like, how can we incorporate this into a date to make things interesting? Honestly, rude. First they threw Garrett out of a plane and then they forced Tyler to get up on a horse, and these horses are unruly. But I love that it's really realistic because most times we see people jump on a horse and then ride down like it's nothing, like they've been horseback riding forever. And I'm always like, is it that easy? I don't know. I heard that you have to connect via mental Wi-Fi to the horse for the horse to go and stop and go on right, left. It's not just a car or whatever. So I love that it was realistic, that these horses were just doing whatever they wanted. They would not go when they... It was funny. They tried pickled herring. Hannah's just like a daredevil. She just went for it. She was like, "Ruff." Tyler almost gagged. This is not the best date for him so far. So when they finally have a conversation, Hannah basically gives Tyler the third degree. She's really digging into him, trying to get answers from him because he's doing what all of the bachelors do. It's like giving her boilerplate answers and telling her what she wants to hear. Oh, this week was hard for you. You didn't get the time you deserve, and you deserve to have all the clarity and time you want. And she's like, yeah. Shush. I don't care that you think I'm awesome and you think that I deserve all these things and life should be sweet and rosy for me. How do you feel in this process? What do you think about me? Where are you? Where are your thoughts, your feelings? I don't want to hear about raindrops and roses and whiskers on kittens. I want to hear about drugstores and crackheads and I don't know. She was telling them, I want the good, the bad, the ugly. She wants that ugly stuff. I get it, you know. She doesn't want him to hold back. She wants him to be raw, to be honest with her, because how else can you gauge a relationship if the person isn't themselves? And like I said, since the beginning, she just didn't trust Tyler. She's like, he's too good to be true. He's too polished and perfect, but is there a depth to him? During their dinner, first of all, spectacular dress as usual. Girl just gets it. Well, rather, wardrobe just gets it. Tyler finally opens up about his experience and he shares with her how he saw his parents go from really good situation growing up to stock market crash, financial struggles, and then the struggles bleeding into the relationship, and then they divorced, right? He seemed pretty aware of everything that went on, so that really does affect the way you process things. And he said that that his worst fear now is failing at marriage, and I could so totally relate, and I feel a lot of people, especially who've had parents in tumultuous relationships, can relate. And then, of course, Hannah opens up about her experience and how her parents, they're still together, and she's glad for longevity. However, it doesn't mean that they know how to communicate to each other and express love to each other, and she wants to do things better. I understand that situation, and that's why personally communication is maybe the most important thing when I am also evaluating a partner, because I've seen it done wrong and you want it done right, you know? So I don't know, what about you? Tell me about your parents. So nosy. Tyler is genuinely excited to introduce her to his family. You can tell by the way he just giggles. It's just so cute. His smile is very genuine. It's warm. And they have this romantic carriage ride, and he says that they have a fire burning between them and he wants to fuel it. I was like, yes, proactive. Yes, a man who knows what he wants and is doing something about it. Yes, we need more of that. Yay. Well, I mean, I shouldn't be happy, but still. Back with the boys, Mike gets the one-on-one card again, another one-on-one. She's just like stacking them and packing them. He gets excited because the card says, I'm drawn to you. Mike, don't. Okay, maybe he knows and he's also acting for the cameras. But let's all remember that a producer or a team of writers are the ones writing these cards. Hannah has nothing to do with it. So don't get excited about what the card says, because it's not a flirtation. Connor, aka Solid Kiss, he feels a way about this, and I don't blame him. I even forgot he was on the show. We never see Connor. So he kind of walks away, and who goes to comfort him? Petey boy. Peter's like Switzerland. He's the neutral sweetheart that everybody gets along with, I bet. He's just like he's got that like good heart, and you see it in his smile and his face. He's sweetie. Connor takes matters into his own hand and goes to talk to Hannah directly, and I love her reaction. She's like, hey! And she's all cutesy with him, touching his cheeks, but she's like, what are you doing here? Why are you here? Why are you disturbing me? I don't want to see you. And they have the deadly conversation. See, when the contestants feel insecure and they have this bad feeling, often we've seen them take that insecurity and go see the Bachelor or Bachelorette off hours in their hotel room or wherever they're staying. And it usually leads to their end, their demise, if you will. And that's what we witness. Connor goes to ask for clarity. He wants a little more. He wants to know what's going on with their relationship. And she's basically like, well, since you're here, might as well break it to you. I guess I don't want to devote time to you because I don't really see it going anywhere. So I don't want to waste your time anymore. Sorry, bye. And thus ends Connor's journey on The Bachelorette. He'll be fine. The boy's as tall as a door frame. He'll find a woman. Because let's be honest, height is what matters to everyone. No, just me. I know. Next date happens in Utrecht. I don't know how to pronounce this. Either it's Utrecht, Utrecht. You know what? I tried. Maybe one of those was right, maybe none of them were right. Utrecht, Netherlands. So Hannah bikes with Mike. She's biking ahead of him, of course. And they go to some art gallery. Drawn to you. Duh, it's gonna be drawing. I love it because there's this moment where Hannah's about to make fun of the painting. She's like, you wanna know what I see? And knowing her, she's just like me. I love going to art galleries and then seeing the weirdest things in the art, making up fantastical humoristic stories, and I know she was about to do that. And then they send in the artist who's like, hey, howdy there, I'm the artist who painted all this. And their reaction was like, oh wow, we weren't just making fun of all this art, we were, oh, okay. She even asks them, so do you guys like art? And they're like, I could tell in Hannah's face she was thinking, not your art, but yes, I guess, other art. I thought that this activity was so much fun, and as a person who paints and draws, thank you, Bachelor, for the idea. And oh my lord, it is the most hilarious thing. Those drawings, especially what Mike did, terrifying. So then they are made to be wrapped in silky cloth for what purpose? I don't understand. Mike comes out dreadfully wrapped. She taps his butt, but you can see, like, she's so friendly with him, right? Like, you see, it's Hannah. But Hannah is very much a hungry hippo. But with him, she is so tamed and calm and not thirsting at all. She is just having fun with him. Even look, she's on his lap. And she lets him kiss her on the cheek. Now this is Hannah we're talking about. Then we have this very bizarre montage which just felt like student project. They had a bunch of interns come to edit this episode and they had so much fun with it. They were probably watching, I don't know, Pride and Prejudice, The Other Bowling Sister, or whatever the movies are, period pieces, and they thought, we have shots. Let's make the most of them. These dramatic zooms. And I'm sorry, the tears in Hannah's eyes, they look fake. Because the way she's crying is just like, so self-aware. Like, girl is calculating her angles and her eyes don't even look sad. There is no wrinkle in her forehead. Girl's not sad. So, I don't know, maybe they put some squirtle on her face for them shots. Anyhow, Mike comes cheesing on that very interesting, classy elevator that made me feel like we are in National Treasure, you know, with that man that everyone loves, Tom Hanks. Whew, mama dressed in black. This is about to be a funeral. It is on. They have this very awkward little pieced conversation where they're almost hush-toned. You look nice. You look nice. No, you're the one who looks nice. I guess we're complimenting each other. Like, it was so funny. And everything she said, Mike already had a answer lined up. It was so hilarious. She takes forever, crying the whole time just to tell him, I'm not feeling you. And then that sigh of relief that comes out of her was real. OMG. I have never seen someone actually sigh of relief like a cartoon. Mike is neutral. For a guy who is always very expressive, you could tell that he does not like Luke. You can tell when something upsets him. You can tell when he's happy. Here he is neutral, always looking down and away. I didn't see any sadness in his face. Maybe I'm completely misinterpreting this, but I did not. I think he already felt this coming a long time ago. Even when they get up to hug, he's smiling. He's like grinning. Almost like he's like, thank you for letting me go now. Thanks for this beautiful journey. I figured out like 3 episodes ago that this wasn't going anywhere. I could tell from your body language that you were almost repulsed by me, that this was a friend zone situation. And I was just playing the game because I'm trying to become the Bachelor out here, the next Bachelor. So I got to look poised and look romantic and say the right things. But in his head, he's already like, on to the next. Maybe I am way too cynical, but considering TV is what it is, I don't think it's that far-fetched. Especially that terrible hammy speech in the car on his way out. The facial expressions were acting 101, so overdone, so fake. I was opening my heart up and she crushed me. And then he has to hide his face so you don't see the lack of emotion and tears in it. No, I'm sorry. I just couldn't. I think that sealed the deal for me that this is all fake. He processed this a long time ago. He ain't upset. He might be disappointed, sure, but sad, no. Oh my God. And then we have this interaction between the boys, which is the best. Luke is still talking trash. He says he'd be happy if they came and rolled Mike's suitcase out. And Tyler's just laughing and giggling. And he's just like, what's your deal? Tyler's like, no, it's just like hilarious. I was just thinking, there's always a villain in every season. And I think this is the first time we have such a tiny villain, like a 5'8" villain. And Peter starts to laugh. Oh my God, Tyler is so unfazed by Luke's shenanigans. I love it. He's just like, Pipsqueak, please. Homeboy, you don't do nothing for me. I just know you out here yapping, but you are just so unthreatening. That was the best. The producer does come and take Mike's suitcase away, duh. Luke is happy, and the other guys are just kind of somber and quiet about it, but it's like, Luke argues, hello, it's one less person to compete against for Hannah's heart, and it means that she likes us more than the person she let go. How am I the only one who's happy? I 1,000,000% agree with him. The guys are being extra, okay? You didn't come to make friends. This isn't a competition where you get to share the spoils of your victory at the end. One guy ends up with Hannah. So we all know that inside of you, deep down, even if you don't want to admit it, you might be upset that you don't have your friend to play with, but you're happy that you got the confirmation that Hannah likes you more than the guy she sends home. Duh. It's just like logic. So at least Luke is being upfront and honest about that. And every season we had these fake situations where guys are just like, oh, you're trash for being happy that someone gets sent home. But it's like, you're trash for lying that you're not. Honestly, what do you think? The next day, even Jed gives him a very chilled, cold, hate-filled, but calm. You know, it's like those guys who are calm but deadly, like the ones that they are never upset, but in their words, you can sense that they can karate chop you in half. Still waters run deep. Yeah, he's scary when he's like intensely upset. He basically tells him, don't cross the line today, please. Focus on your date. Don't cause no drama. There's a pause and Luke basically says, out of all the people, I'm surprised that you had the balls to tell me that. Oh, Luke. Wow. Okay. Then we have this very awkward date. The mood was just off. They're in Gouda. I didn't realize that was a place. Obviously, cheeses are named after cities. I think I learned this recently in my life. It's a place called Cheddar. Maybe not all cheeses. Whew. So after a very cold cheers and drink, Hannah takes Luke first aside. She's all happy and giddy as she is when she doesn't interact with Luke. And then what does Luke do? He brings the drama and robs her of her smile again. Girlfriend already has a neck pain from the first interaction with Luke. Why is there drama? He's complaining about Jed. Jed said this very mean thing to me. And then Garrett said that he was pretending to be my friend. So I don't think that they're good for you. Oh, such a baby. Oh, it's like, oh. What frustrates me, and I don't know if it's because of the show that she has to say all these things, her immediate reaction is, she says, why don't the other guys like you? Why is it that he attracts drama? Not why is the drama finding him? You know what I mean? Like, him. Focus on the fact that it's him. Him. Not the others. Come on, Hannah. His excuse is, you remember being on this side of the equation. They don't like me just because I steal time from them to be with you. That's all it is. Right. Because they don't do that too. Even Peter says, it's a shame that Hannah doesn't see the Luke that we see. And she probably never will because he's such a good master manipulator. Yeah, Luke is a problem and Hannah's not seeing it. Then he puts on the charm. Boy was like, oh, Hannah. With his eyes, she was falling. She was melting. Oh my God. She is cat to his catnip. And he's nipping her in the bud. Girl. Next, she sits with Garrett. And she asks him, Luke says apparently you guys were friends yesterday and then today you told him, oh, my bad, I was being fake, I don't actually like you, and when you were with the other guys, what's up with that? And Garrett explains that, no, I told him that I was being polite, so I was kind of like bullshitting and interacting with him, but it was just out of politeness because I'm not the kind of guy who just ices someone out when I don't like them or tell them to their face, I don't like you. Hannah's upset-ish. She's kind of like, well, I'm like that. I'm direct. When I don't like someone, I tell them to their face. And he's like, okay, well, that's cool that you have the courage and the balls to be like that, but I'm not like that. I'm also a very direct person and very transparent. However, I'm also like Garrett in the sense that I hate confrontation and I believe in kindness. Even to people that I cannot stand. Maybe it is being fake. I don't know. It's being polite because it's not like I'm engaging in conversation. I'm just really being as polite, bare minimum polite as possible. Addressed, answered, end. Smile because I smile at people. You know what I mean? So I understand what Garrett meant. I feel like Hannah was being a bit unreasonable in expecting him to be like her and to be like, you don't like Luke, be mean to him and like show it to his face every single day. At the same time, it's like, Hannah, hello, Luke is saying these things to paint them in a bad light. Would it be any better if he was actually rude to Luke? Then Luke would complain that Garrett is being mean to me and he's rude and he tells me to my face that he doesn't like me. In the end, I just think she was looking for an out. After their date in Riga, there seemed to be a huge spark that we hadn't seen before. Maybe after spending some time away from him, that fairy dust cloud settled and then she realized that, oh no, actually I prefer the other guys. Garrett mentioned something about this being the Luke P show. She makes a duck face and I was just like, it looked like she was upset, like, this isn't the Luke P show, this is the Hannah B show. Such a childish expression. I loved it. Oh, and then the show makes Luke look like Chad, who was the villain on JoJo's season of The Bachelorette, and he's eating his cold cuts. Then we have this very strange, I could not read this scene, interaction between Garrett and Luke. Garrett is being super provocative, not leaving Luke alone, interacting with him, talking to him unnecessarily. Now, I know that we've established that Garrett can be petty. He likes to stir up drama. He likes to find the drama. But this really felt like he talked to a producer who told him, if you want Hannah to see the real side of Luke, how about you kind of like provoke him, just like tease him and really dig into him a bit, so he's gonna explode, right? And then Hannah's right here, so she can actually see it for herself. She'll see Luke starting drama and getting explosive and off the hinges, and then he'll look bad and you'll look good because you're like neutral and calm about it and handling it well. So I would suggest you do that if you really want to get rid of Luke. I so see the producers whispering into Garrett's ear and Garrett just falling for it like, okay, you're right. And then he's just like, you, double point, boom, 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 I don't like you, this and that, blah, 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 you're the worst. And Luke is taking it all in, taking it all in, taking it all in, and then snaps, gets up really weirdly, awkwardly, which felt scripted. Even Garrett's grinning like a freak kind of looked super fake. I don't know, this whole interaction was strange and unnatural. And he's just like yelling in his face, you are not gonna get it to me, a guy like you means nothing, blah, blah, blah. I love how Garrett just gets up to reestablish the order of things. He's like, okay, let's remember that you're smaller than me. Okay, little one. So no need to yell at me. He drops bologna in his lap. This fight was so embarrassingly weak. It just made both of them look pitiful. The whole thing was baloney. I thought it was funny that Luke was like, be real with that woman. She's looking for a husband. It's like, wait, what? Coming from you? That's hilarious. And then Garrett said, as usual, when faced with confrontation, Luke explodes. Why are you confronting him in the first place? Luke goes to talk to Switzerland about it. Garrett, and I talked to Hannah, and then Peter's just like, whoa, what? Okay, so you're telling me that you went to bring the drama to Hannah again? I haven't even talked to her, and she's upset again? Oh, every time Luke passes by like a hurricane, any guy that goes up to Hannah afterwards has to do damage control, and clean up the mess that he left behind. Emotional damage control. But look at them. Come on. She instantly forgot about all the drama with him. He's so comfortable. And I gave this a lot of thought. I was like, you know what? As much as I love Tyler, we've established this, he's like perfection, but he's almost too perfect. It's like unreachably perfect. And Peter's more like the kind of guy I personally would marry because he's got this like soft sweetness and vulnerability to him. He's got swag. He's like a rom-com hero. He's that cute guy in high school who like you look at in the hallways while he's at his locker and you are crushing on him hard and he's like in the AV club or something and you're just like, OMG, he'll never notice me. I'm like in the debate club and I just like... And then one day you drop your notebook in the hallway and he picks it up and you turn around and he's like, hey, is this yours? And you're just like, oh my gosh, Peter just gave me my notebook. Clearly I've watched way too many teenage rom-coms. Yeah, that's my fantasy right there. So Peter is like bae before anyone else. I just learned that bae was an acronym and that's what it stood for, so I'm sharing it with you. Knowledge. Peter and Hannah, there is so much affection between them. He's such a Romeo. He talks about how after their date, he had so much clarity. He wants to introduce her to his family. Of course you do. Your mom is Miss Illinois, right? So Miss Alabama, Miss Illinois. It makes sense. It just makes sense. This is what I want for my own life. Of course, he gets the rose. Whew. Can't even talk about their chemistry. We've already established that it is noteworthy, goals, everything. After he gets the rose, she releases him into the wild, and there's a showdown. One rose left. Who gonna get it? Now, let me tell you something. We saw way too many clips of Garrett stating, the sun is going down, so apologies for the irregular lighting. I need to do these earlier. Anyhow, these are the kind of things I notice, and if you don't really notice these things on TV, now you will. When dealing with a reality show, when they show a certain character a lot, a character that you haven't seen in previous episodes ever, now all of a sudden they're getting a lot of airtime, that character is usually being set up for an elimination or something. Either they're way too confident or they're way too insecure, and then they get eliminated at the end of the reality show competition episode. So here we had a lot of clips of Garrett being overly confident that he's gonna get the rose, that Hannah's gonna eliminate Luke. Luke is going home for sure. Every time they said that, I turned to my sister, I was like, oh, Garrett is going home. OMG. So Luke pulls out the Christianity card, and wow, does it work. He opens up a bit about his born again Christian journey. I don't know what it is. How, yeah, he went from chasing sex to chasing Jesus. Hannah is living for it because she's a woman of faith. And she just feels so connected to him. And he's like, oh, I wish we had more moments where we were talking about this. Ugh. Hannah is so way to the point of asking him to kiss her. This is the moment where I was like 1,000,000% sure. Oh, yep. Sealed the deal. Because, oh my God. Did you see the way they were kissing? That flame that we saw at the beginning between those two. Remember the candle room? Mm-hmm. It was back. It was back and in full effect. And I saw this and I turned to my sister and I said, fantasy sweets. Luke is getting a rose. So lustful. OMG, it was so cute when Peter went back to the boys and they like celebrated and jumped into each other's arms. I was like, OMG, you guys have the weirdest like little boys in the hood camaraderie. We returned to Garrett and Hannah and the energy wasn't the same. Garrett forgot to kiss again. He went back to pecking her face. I was just like, oh, well, there you go. He forgot the one thing that kept him in the running. So it's over. And you can also tell Hannah's body language. Her legs are properly folded. Her hands are poised. Like, no, girl is not ablaze over him. So yeah, no surprise when the dinner came and she handed Luke the rose. Even though Garrett tells her literally, I love you. She smiled politely. Garrett was weirdly calm. I couldn't really read his vibe. I think that his exit was beautiful and smooth and classy and really like the best goodbye I've ever seen on this series. The way he said, I'm not gonna forget you, and he kissed her on like the 5 corners of her face like prayer. It was so tender, so sweet. A very beautiful homage to what they had. And in the car you could see in his eyes were full of emotion. And I think, like I said, for a petty dude, I feel like Garrett, who even told us that he's not really good at being 100% himself and confrontational and upfront with who he is. He's gotten really good at putting on masks and faces and pretending, but the real Garrett is buried somewhere deep inside and it's not on the surface and ready to come out and play. So again, she sends him home. He has to save face. He doesn't want to look defeated, especially not in front of Luke and in front of America, I guess, but he is hurt because I think he really was falling for Hannah and felt like there's something between them. And also pride. I mean, you get sent home over Luke. That doesn't feel good. The boys back at the hotel see Garrett's luggage get rolled out and they are frustrated. Just like every freaking time that cockroach gets smushed, bounces back into life. I mean, just look at Hannah. Look at her in his arms and Luke's arms. She wants to have fun. Girls just want to have fun. She is not considering him for husbandry. Not at all. Mama wants to taste that rainbow. That is all it is. She is very much fiending for a taste of Luke. What an episode. Whee! What did you think about all of this? I would love to hear from you in the comment section. Why do you think she chose Luke over Garrett? Did you think that she was going to choose Garrett? Are you excited for hometowns? Ow! So exciting. Thoughts, feelings, comment section. You know what to do. Before you go, remember to click on that like button and subscribe to Angel Says if you haven't already. Thank you very much. Share, of course, on your social media these videos if you want to. And you can follow me on Instagram at @AngelSays1word or Facebook and Twitter if that's your jam. I'm also there too. Thank you so much for watching again. Have a blessed, fantastical week, and I will see you for hometowns. Peace and blessings. Bye.